This is a carrying sack, and I'm going to show you how to make this. I've got two of my boys in here right now. I've got Princeton and Harvey, and they've been in here for about an hour, nice and cozy. So I'm going to show you how to make this. Okay, so to make the bag, you're going to need a piece of fleece. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller than I did the original one because the original one was made for when the boys are a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make this one for them for now, so that I can use it with them right now. You start with a piece of fleece, and to decide how big you want your bag to be, you want to fold the fleece, and you're going to have, this is going to be your bag, and then this is going to be the cover, or the flap over the top of your bag. So you need to decide how big you want it, and then cut the fleece to match the size that you want. And then your strap is just going to be a piece of fleece. The one thing that you have to pay attention to when you're dealing with fleece and making a sack is that fleece stretches in one direction. So if you have a piece of fleece, it'll either stretch this way, which this one does not stretch this way. This is pretty much the maximum stretch you'll get. But if you turn it this way, then you get a lot more stretch. The strap, however, you want to make sure that it doesn't stretch. If you cut the strap this way, the fleece will stretch and your strap will become flimsy and it'll look pretty crappy after a while. So if you cut the strap in the right direction of the fleece, it won't stretch and it'll be nice and sturdy. Make the strap about the length of your arm, so when you fold it up in half, it'll be about the length of your arm. When you get started on your sack, you're going to fold it however big you want the sack to be. I'm going to do it like that. And then you use your scissors, fringe the size of it. So again, make sure not to have your fringe too thin or too thick. If you make it too thin, it won't be very strong. If you make it too thick, it'll be a pain in the butt to tie. Make sure that when you're cutting that your fringe comes out nice and even on the sides. And then do the other side. You cut above your lines because this is going to be a first fringe, so you want to make sure to cut right above your fold. And I'm using checkerboard type of pattern because checkerboard is a lot easier to cut on. As you can see, you pretty much have your lines made for you. Once you have your ends cut, you need to cut your top portion Once you have your fringe done and your top portion, you can start tying the fringe off. I usually start at the top and then work my way down. So I'm going to go ahead and start tying these. And by tie, I mean grab them and then tie them together. And grab the next set and tie it together. And what you're doing when you're doing this is you're actually tying your folds to each other. When you have your folds right there, you're taking them and then you're tying them together. I'm going to go ahead and tie these off and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, once you have your ends tied, what you want to do is stretch your fleece. And again, just like in the other videos, fleece is hard to break, so don't worry about breaking it. You want to grab it and you want to kind of pull on it to stretch it out. The next step of making a carry sack is going to be to make your strap. What you want to do is you're going to be actually tying your strap into the inside of your carry sack. Put it right in the middle, just like this. Then you're going to fold this in half. And the next two cuts that you're going to make, I usually make 3 fringes on here. but I make them in a row, and there's a reason for that as well. So the first cut ends right here. My next one is going to end about 1/2 inch down. And the next one 1/2 inch down after that. So that when you open your strap, what you have is the middle cut is the highest, and then, I'm not sure if you can see that. Can you see that? You've got your highest cut, the next 2 cuts come a little lower, and then lower yet. And then you do the same thing on the other side of your strap. And once you have these ends cut up, you're going to start tucking them. Well, actually, we're going to start with one after the other, but you're going to tie this into the inside of your fleece. So what you want to do is your first one, you're going to tuck this in. The inside of the bag will look kind of like this. In between each tie, there's going to be a hole. And what you're going to do is you're going to tuck these in to the hole. But you can only do one at a time. So what I normally do is I tuck one here, and then you pull it through the hole, just like that. And then the second one, and I start with the middle with the highest cut. The second one I put the next loop down. And sometimes it's a little hard to put this through, but what I do if I can't put it through is I just poke my scissors through and push it through with my scissors. Now this is the one that I pulled out, and this is the one I pulled out below. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these on and tie them off. Now the next two, you're going to tuck in the first one, you're going to tuck into the same hole that you tucked the other one into, the second one that you put through. And then the next one's going to go into the next hole. And I tie these on like this is the front of your sack. So I tie these on behind the fringe. So see how this sticks out of the fringe, and in between the fringe this sticks out of the hole. Now I just need to find the other. There it is. Make sure there's nothing behind it, and you tie it off again. And then your last ones, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to tuck it in to the first hole that you put, the last hole you put the last one through, and to the hole immediately after that. I'm going to pull them out behind the fringe and tie them off. And your strap is in on one side. Now you have to make sure that your strap is going to be facing the right way. What I like to do is just lay this down and then take the strap, because it's obviously folded in half here. I take the strap and I continue to fold it in half. And now I know how to put this in on the other side. There you go. Your strap is almost done. What I like to do, now you've got your strap on here, and your strap is almost done, but what I like to do is a little touch, is I like to add a little fringe on the top of that. It's a little more decorative. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my scissors, and then I'm going to fringe it. And there you go. You have a nice and sturdy carrying sack. And this one should be okay for 2 small rats or 1 large rat. What I normally do is, if I'm walking around, is I just flip the top open, and then it just dangles on the outside just like this. There you go.